So I grew up in Samoa. There's two Samoas, Western Samoa used to be called. So I grew up so rich of everything but money. I was fortunate enough to grow up in Sava'i, in two places, Sava'i and Polu. Sava'i had all these old people, our great grandparents, our grandmother, my grandmother, and also a great-grand auntie. So it's like the connection of my life from the pre-contact. Those who are still alive, So I've got this connection to that life before contact. So I was able to get that knowledge of all the things you think of. When I first came here, I mentioned before too, I stood right there in the kitchen area and I saw this thing, this people call it aha moment. And my gosh, I was prepared my whole life to come do this work. So I grew up with people say nothing, but I grew up with everything. I was able to do all the sports, do all the work, cooking, everything to do with serving the family. I did art, I did music. I was blessed, and I'm truly very blessed to come here and be part of this program. Just last week, we had the 60th anniversary. We were able to go back into play the band, the drums, and sing a couple of songs, and dance with all the people that I haven't seen for a long, long time, over the last 10 years. So I'm truly blessed, man. I grew up with a school that had everything, had all the sports available, had all the music, so I can say that again, what Sia said, totally blessed. There's no moment of saying, oh, this life is boring, there's always something that you can do and relearn and learn again and again. So I'm grateful for my parents, my ancestors. If you go where I come from, our ancestors are buried right there where we live, and it's so good to know to come from a place where you belong and always go home, take my kids, take my boys now, they're chiefs, got their titles, just connecting back to that place I love the most.
I love that.
And
We're all
brothers
living
here, yeah.
What
all
high
living
school
our
did you
blessed
graduate
life.
from?
I went to Pesenga.
Pesenga.
Pesenga and Church College of Western Samoa, which is now called Church College of Samoa,
Okay.
and the Mormon LDS Church.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. So we really, all three of us are living our blessed life. I'm here with you two at the Polynesian Cultural Center. I'm having such a great time. You two are some of the most popular people here at PCC, especially this guy. I've seen him before I even came here. I see this guy on YouTube, social media. Kind of just became like
all that stuff, man.
the face, right? All the way from Samoa over here.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with the Polynesian Cultural Center?
So I grew up with a big family, a big family. Our siblings, our siblings, people came to live with us. So they were much older, so they started heading out, finding education outside of Samoa, some Australia, some New Zealand, and some came through the BYU, Hawaii. So of course, there's a pathway that's already been laid out. You could follow that. So after my school, high school, I went on a LDS mission with the church, and right after the mission, it was like, okay, the next step is to go to BYU. So at the time, when you sit the test and you pass, I barely passed. Passed the test. And so BYU and PCC bring their people to recruit people to come to work here or to go to school. So I got offered a job through the Culture Center. So we came here, to work. BYU orientation, we had a big orientation before we got to do a job here. So I was coming through the center to just hang out and kind of see what was going on, because we're still new here doing orientation. And there was a Samoan show, and the time to climb the coconut tree, and nobody was there to climb the tree. So I jumped out of the audience and climbed the tree. So the chief then, Fawono Vaifale Namla Ulu, said, I gotta have this kid. I started off doing this work without being paid, or it's just common sense. I'm Samoan. Nobody's there. Jump into the show.
I love that.
So I start working. This is my first job at
Wow.
the Samoan village. Climb the tree. I never miss. I climb the tree. So I start doing the show. In a couple of months I was here, I was starting doing the show, the between shows that people, audience that are coming late or between shows, I would do because the only thing I have to learn was to now translate the information that I grew up with into English and to make people understand what I'm talking about, because I was still learning English anyways when I came. So right after my school, I was doing a lot of things. I was doing the show at the village. I used to play in the band, between the band and the night show. So summertime, I'm flowing from here. I'm going to the village, play the brass band concert, go and show, dance at the show, and then it's going on and on. It's just love the work, love the concept of this, sharing the culture and talent. And of course, every time you do it, you get better and better at it. So right after my schooling, President Moore was the president at the time, decided to, hey, come talk. Let's, should really stay here and become an ambassador for the center. So that's, at the same time I was selling artwork out of my dorm. I was a potter. I sculpted. And, so I start selling artwork. I saw the combination of what I do and what people say, what else you do? And, so people want to take a piece of that momentum, at home. So President Moore decided to give me a chance to work here as an ambassador, and of course have a gallery that sells my artwork. So that's, again, a blessed life of how I came to be at Polynesian Cultural Center.
It's so cool to hear the origin story, how you started from just, a student over here, how you weren't even, it's almost like you weren't even supposed to be in the show. It's just like life just made it
happened.
They needed somebody, you stepped up, you saw the opportunity, and now you're here many years later.
I'm telling you, when I come to work every day, I don't miss a coconut tree climb. I climb and climb. 36 years later, people come back and said, you're the only thing we remember. That tree climbing, you're the only thing we remember.
Yeah.
So, in so many ways, your hard work, consistency. In fact, when I was at BYU and nobody showed up today for the show, the full-time workers at the time, people have their stuff going on. Nobody showed up today. And I hear my voice, my manager driving around in the BYU. Hey, they're looking for you. They knock on my door, and the classroom door, and say, hey, you need to come to the show. Nobody showed up today. So I leave the classroom and come and do the show. I mean, that's, to me, was total commitment to this place. I mean, I love to come do the work and just being part of sharing this Aloha. This Aloha thing is unreal. Because I see every day. I see people coming in. If you walk in this way, you can experience it. You can walk this way and see people coming in and like, what is this place? You see them walking the opposite way after. They're like, wow, it's crazy. So it's truly, man, is Aloha, is Alofa, is Aroha, is Ofa. It's powerful here. People really, you come see my show, you can see people cheering up when I'm talking about the culture and how respect and how service is done, how I grew up. And some people just long for that. My son will come make the food for me and serve it to me instead of the opposite.
Yeah. That's beautiful. When I went to your show, I was tearing up, but there were tears of laughter because of all the jokes you kept making and all your funny stage presence with the other performers as well.
Thank you very much.
It's so natural, yeah.
I know,
humor.
it's so, I love it. So Auntie Sia, how many coconut trees have you climbed?
Zero. Which is why I have respect for brother over here, because I am really good at cheering for him when he's going up and coming down.
You're emceeing it.
Yeah.